for this heat number 3. Parmveer Najjar was sat on pole position. He might be pole, he might not. We'll just have to wait and see. I have my doubts. I don't think he was first out of pit lane. But he occupies pole position at the moment in kart number 3. Blue suit, white helmet. Pete O'Connor in kart number 6 has come through to grid 2. Listener's moved ahead of Parmveer Najjar. I do indeed think he isn't on pole position. I suspect we are going to see Steve Brown come through to take pole. He overtakes Pete O'Connor and takes the pole position. So the reigning champion has got pole position for this third heat. At the moment it looks as though on the front row is Steve Brown and Pete O'Connor. Second row is Jonathan Lister and Dan Healy. Darren Teal, James Hattersley on row 3. Although Stephen Hicks has moved in and through and takes up grid number 6, I think. I could be wrong. Indeed he does, so it's Teal and Hicks on row 3. Joe Holmes and James Hattersley on row 4. Parmveer Najjar and Tyler Mays is the top 10 of a 21 kart field. And we are going to go this time. They're right up close behind the pace car who pulls off. Might be a mistake from Brown there, but he has got good drive. And I think Pete O'Connor is going to be hung out to dry on the outside of Jonathan Lister coming through to second. Darren Teal is going to go side by side and gets the run off the corner to go third. Brown on the defensive, and O'Connor has Brandon Williams going round the outside, or at least trying it on. Takes the escape road. Now he's trying to hold off Joe Holmes, who slots into 5th place. So Williams, then Mays, then the rest of the field, led by Najjar. Najjar, Blake, Norris, Hattersley, not had a good start. James Hattersley, I think that's Dan Truman. Stephen Docker, Tom Dix, Stuart Martin, Jay Elliott, Ben Yarwood, Ed Bars and David Longman, just to show I recognise everyone by sight. Stephen Hicks has been off the road. We've missed that one. Brown has got 3 kart lengths when they get out of the corner on Jonathan Lister and Darren Teal. The battle is on though for 4th place, and Holmes has got to the front of it ahead of O'Connor, Williams and Mays. This is the last opportunity to pick up spots for the final grid, where the trophies will be decided. So Darren Teal looking for 2nd place, as Pete O'Connor is looking to get back past Joe Holmes for 4th place. Around the garden feature, we've got a 4-way dice here for 4th place. Holmes, O'Connor, Williams under pressure from Mays. Goes now to hold him off. And we go back to Parmveer Najjar and Ian Blake. It's all boiling up nicely here in the elite class. I think Ian Blake wants to be by. Before Dan Truman closes back in. And we may yet have a race for the lead here. I think Brown's made a mistake in the final complex, because Jonathan Lister has closed in and closed the gap in by 3/10. John Lister, a man on a mission maybe. Is he close enough to strike at the hairpin? Not this time. Darren Teal is not out of this either. And Joe Holmes is coming across. And we could be in for a belter of a 3rd heat here. Brown can't afford any more mistakes. Into pylon. He continues to hold the spot. And he has recovered. I think the gap will go out from 2/10. And it does. It goes out to 4/10 of a second. So Steve Brown's mistake he's got away with. Darren Teal's not close enough. Lister closing in on the brakes, but not close enough. Joe Holmes has dropped Pete O'Connor, and Brandon Williams and Tyler Mays has been unable to stay with that pair either. Wide out of hairpin 2. Parmveer Najjar continues to hold off Ian Blake. Dan Truman, Ray Norris, James Hattersley coming through in 12th place. A few track limits warnings coming through, and we quick go back to the leading battle that has closed up again. I think Brown may be struggling out of pylon or possibly out of paddock bend. And Listener is in striking distance, but it'll be a long lunge from there. Teal seems happy to follow. He's pushing as hard as he can, and I think Holmes has made a mistake as well, as O'Connor is back there. Williams puts his nose in, won't get it done, and have to wave him back through. Sensible. And they lose ground again on Joe Holmes. We go back to the battle for the lead. We're through half distance, 3 minutes 45 from the finish. Probably about 5 laps, I would say. And Teal, for the first time, is in striking distance of Jonathan Listener. Too far back from there. See if we can see where Steve Brown is losing time. Listener's good, into hairpin 2 there. And he's gaining ground in pylon. Now, can he get drive off paddock bend? No, he's lost a kart length. That won't be close enough for Stadium. It looks as though it's going to have to be into the brake, on the brakes into hairpin 1, 2, or into pylon. Paddock would be a bit tricky. So Brown on the defensive into hairpin 1 this time, and Teal immediately moves in behind. Brown gets good drive off the corner and is able to hold him off into pylon. Can he get a run this time? Not quite there. That kart appears to have pretty good mid-range compared to Jonathan Listener. They're all hand-built and they're all very close, but there are little idiosyncrasies and advantages, small margins, different characteristics from kart to kart occasionally. Or it could be the drivers. Williams to the inside of O'Connor. He's tried this before. This time he was further along, and this time I think he'll try and hold the spot, although O'Connor is going to hold him off into pylon. And Mays comes back into play. And I can see Joe Holmes is closing in on the leading trio. It was 1.3 seconds, now it's 1.1. So Joe Holmes closing in on the dice for the lead. We're looking at the battle for 5th. O'Connor goes narrow to hold off Williams and Mays. Ray Norris puts one down the inside of Dan Truman for about 10th. Jay Elliott closing in behind. Oh, Williams has tried and failed once again to get past Pete O'Connor. And this time I think he's going to have it done. And Mays is going to run round the outside for the inside of paddock. Now, can O'Connor get good drive off the corner for Stadium? He's not going to be close enough. It'd be late coming from there. There's not much braking into turn 1. And the battle is now on for 3rd. Joe Holmes has closed in on Darren Teal. It's a 4-way dice for the lead and a 3-way dice for 5th. Brandon Williams heads the queue in 5th place. Joe Holmes looking for 3rd, looking for pole position for the final. Getting close to the final lap. I think we've got maybe one more lap after this one. No, this is the last lap. Steve Brown leads. He's got a margin on Jonathan Listener, which I think he'll hold to the finish. The battle for 3rd, though, is up for grabs. Teal on the defensive into hairpin 2. Slow off the corner. Drag race to pylon, which he has lost. I think this is how it's going to finish, unless Holmes has one banzai move into paddock. He's going for it. Oh, a lot of curb. Steve Brown wins heat number 3 ahead of Jonathan Listener, Darren Teal, Joe Holmes, Brandon Williams, Tyler Mays, Pete O'Connor, Parmvina Jar, Ian Blake. Daniel Truman has lost out to Jay Elliott at the finish. Elliott comes through in 10th place.